Hello, good morning student. My name is Harendra Tiwari from LPM Public School, Golabazar, Gorakhpur. As you know that in last video, we have learnt about that intermolecular forces. We had classified there the intermolecular forces on the basis of the nature of the molecule present in the matter into three categories. First, dispersion force. Second, dipole-dipole forces. Third, dipole-induced dipole forces. Today in this video, I am going to explain you or introduce you a very special type of force which is present between the dipole molecule that we call the hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bond, where it takes place, the first point, it is formed between the molecule which has hydrogen atom bonded with more electronegative atom such as fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen. Phone. The such types of the molecule in which hydrogen atom bonded with fluorine or oxygen and nitrogen, only in that molecule the hydrogen bond is formed. Only in that molecule. The condition is here that molecule should have the hydrogen fluorine bonds, hydrogen oxygen bond and or hydrogen nitrogen bond. Some of the times it is also appear with the chlorine. Some of the times in the very special condition it is appear with the chlorine, but with fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen, in presence of fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen bonded with the hydrogen atoms, so we observe it generally. For example, hydrogen and fluorine. It is a covalent compounds, hydrogen bonded with the fluorine atoms. So this is one molecule. Then another molecule we have hydrogen bonded with the fluorine. As we know that this is a dipole molecule. This is a dipole molecule, hydrogen plus or minus. If you have remember, yesterday just I told you the interaction between the permanent dipole molecule, we call that dipole-dipole forces. So this is the dipole forces. Dipole forces. Are you getting? But it is a special type of dipole forces in which hydrogen bonding is present. We call it hydrogen bond. The hydrogen bond is formed between the two dipole molecule. Means, on the other hand, we can tell that it is a special properties of dipole molecule which has hydrogen atom with fluorine, oxygen or nitrogen. There the possibility is the formation of hydrogen bond. Means the condition is that dipole four molecules should be present. for the formation of hydrogen bonds. And the next condition is that fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen. So hydrogen bonding is a special type of properties of the dipole-dipole molecule which has hydrogen atom bonded with fluorine or oxygen or nitrogen. Clear? Only these three atoms. So this is the one example. So between the fluorine and hydrogen, since partially negative charged atom, fluorine withdraw this covalent bonded electrons towards itself due to the more electronegative behavior. It is getting the partially positive and partially negative charge. So between the fluorine and hydrogen, a kind of interaction arises. That interaction we call the hydrogen bond. And this phenomena is known as hydrogen bonding. Wait 1 minute, there is some disturbances. Sorry, which has? For example, of the water, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, then oxygen, hydrogen, hydrogen, oxygen has the partially negative charge, it is partially positive, partially negative. Interactions arises between oxygen and hydrogen. This is a hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bond. Another example where the nitrogen is present, very good, that is ammonia, H, 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 N, H, H, H. This is a lone pair of the electrons. Nitrogen has the partially negative charge and partially positive charge, partially positive, partially negative, and interactions arises between hydrogen and nitrogen. This we call the hydrogen bond. So this is these are the examples of the hydrogen bonds. Just I have shown here to you. Let us understand some general physical properties of gaseous state of matter. The first of all, I tell you, gases are highly compressible. Gases are highly compressible. Might you have a question that what is the meaning of compressibility? So, if you have a gas in any vessel and on applying the pressure, the volume of the gas decreases, reduce, not a gas of any substance. So we call this ability the compressibility. The meaning of compressibility, on applying pressure, the volume of gas or any substance getting reduced, that we call the compressibility nature. So gases are highly compressible, we can compress it. Solid, suppose this is the solid matter, I am applying the pressure. So is it possible to decrease the volume of this duster by applying pressure? Not at all. The next property is that gases exert pressure equally in all directions. Gases exert pressure equally in all direction. The gas filled in any vessels, that is applying the pressure equally in all directions, and they exert pressure at the wall of the container also. Number third, gases have much lower density than solid and liquid states of matter. matter. Number 4, gases the volume and shape of gases are not fixed. They assume the volume and shape of container. And at last, 5th, gases. Next is gases mixed evenly and completely in all proportion without any mechanical aid. Means if we have the two different gases or the same gases in the two different vessels, suppose here hydrogen gas and in this vessel is chlorine gas. If we allow or we connect these two vessels with a pipe, so they will mix together evenly, means the same number of hydrogen atoms will be here also and same number of chlorine atom will be here evenly and completely with each other. There we no need to do any external work, just only we need to connect the both vessels. Then the process takes place spontaneously. Now dear student, our next topic is measurable properties of gas. So what are the properties we can measure? So let us see. The first is serial number, then properties, then after properties symbol to designate the particular property, and then unit to express that measurable properties. So it's a clear from the topic name, measurable properties of gas means the properties we can measure. First is that pressure, we measure the pressure of the gas, symbol we use the P, and unit atmospheric pressure or bar or Pascal. Then next one is that temperature, symbol T. We have the different units also, degree Kelvin, degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit, degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit, but prefer to use Kelvin. I suggest you. Third, pressure, temperature, then volume of the gas, that is V, unit meter cube or decimeter cube or centimeter cube, or behavioral unit we can use that liter or ml. Number 4, it is that about mass. We can express the mass for the mass and other terms we generally use. This is the amount of substance, and as we know that this is we express in terms of the number of mole So we have the symbol M and unit mole. This is only one unit. Apart from these four fundamental properties, we have the next one is the fifth. This property's name is, do you know what? This is the density. Density that have relation with the mass and volume. Volume, the amount, the mass of the substance, unit mass of the substance present in a unit volume, that we call mass of the substance, that we call that density. And density we express by the D or rho. This is the called rho. And unit, this is depend on the mass and volume unit, such as kilogram per decimeter cube or gram per centimeter cube, so etc. Other units we have. So these are the measurable properties. The scientists, they have performed the different experiment and they studied about these properties, how these properties change with the different terms and conditions, and they did study about the behavior of the gas by using these measurable properties, and different scientists perform the different experiment while studying the behavior of gases, and they put forward the different opinions that we call gas laws. So you have noted down it, then I will continue with the gas laws. Just I told you, by taking the consideration of these measurable properties, the scientists had studied about the behavior of gases and put forward their opinion. So that we call the gas laws. Here I am going to just introduce you in brief that what are those gas laws. In next video, one by one, I will explain in the detail about that. The first law put forward by Boyle's, that we call Boyle's law. His law is commonly known as pressure volume relationship. What he did, he just took a gas in a vessel and he kept the some parameter is constant. The parameter he kept the constant, that was pressure volume relation, means temperature and n is the amount of substance, as we know that. He made the constant and he just find out in his experiment pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Then he stated that when we keep temperature and mass of the substance fixed, then the pressure is inversely proportional to the volume we will observe. Means a fixed mass of the temperature, if constant, then pressure is inversely proportional to its volume. The second law, this is the Charles law. The second law, Charles law, it is commonly known as temperature volume relationship. Temperature volume relationship, television. Okay, PV, television. Charles law, temperature volume relation. The parameter he made the constant, it was temperature volume. Temperature volume relation means pressure and amount of pressure and was constant. So he got a relation between T and V. Temperature is directly proportional to volume. We can write it such as also V is directly proportional to T. So when the mass of the gas is fixed and pressure is constant, then the volume will increase on increasing the temperature. Then third is Gay-Lussac's law. This Gay-Lussac's law is known as commonly PT, pressure temperature relationship. He formulated the law such as he made the constant the value PT relation means volume and V and N was constant, V and N amount of the gas constant. Then he found that when volume and number of mole was constant, then he found that P pressure is directly proportional to temperature. So this is formulated by the Gay-Lussac's law. For a fixed mass of the gas, if volume is constant, then the pressure on increasing pressure, temperature will increase. On decreasing pressure, temperature will decrease. Then at fourth, Avogadro's law. This law is known as V and N. Volume and number of mole or amount of the substance relationship. According to his law, he made the constant value pressure and temperature, and he observed that equal number of molecule occupy the equal volume. Means volume is directly proportional to N. N is here number of mole. Means if the pressure and temperature of any gas is constant, then the particular number of mole of the gas will occupy the same volume. So these four laws proposed by the different scientists by making the measure any two of the measurable property constant, and they have found out that's what are the relationship between other two measurable property when we made the any two measurable property is constant. So on the basis of when we combine this A, B and C law, then we can formulate the ideal gas equation. So ideal gas equation we can formulate by the combining the Avogadro, Boyle's and Charles law. That in short we call that ABC of the ideal gas equation. So ideal gas equation is ABC what? Let us see. V is directly proportional to N from Avogadro law. From Boyle law, can we write V is inversely proportional to 1 by P? Yes, we can write in such a form. And from Charles law, V is directly proportional to T. So when we equate these all, then collectively we can write it V is directly proportional to and V is directly proportional to T and V is inversely proportional to P. Clear? So P we can take this side. PV is directly proportional to N and T. This is the proportionality. We can replace by using the word alphabet R. So we can write it PV is equal to N RT, or if you are getting confused, so don't worry. PV is equal to this R into N and T. So this is the ideal gas equation where R is what? R is called the universal gas law. Sorry, gas constant. Universal gas constant. Gas constant. So in such way they have formulated the one equations. This equation is known as ideal gas equation. Ideal gas equation. So for today that's all. At last I tell you one point. This is very essential. Thank you. Wish you all the best. Enjoy your day. Do study.